Here is your chance to buy some items that could go straight to the pool room. The estate of former Queensland Premier Sir Joh Bjelke-Petersen and Lady Flo is up for auction with more than 800 lots, including a luxury car and a famous recipe, all going under the hammer. And the head auctioneer, Lee Hames, joins us now from the Gold Coast to show off some of the controversial couple's most prized possessions. It's nice to see you, Lee. Thanks for joining us. Now, the headline piece of this entire auction...
Good morning, team. ...is
literally out of this world. Good morning to you. It's been signed by the world's most famous astronauts. Tell us more.
That's right. One of the pieces in the collection is actually the luncheon poster signed by all of Apollo 11 and Sir Joh and Lady Flo. So that's framed and ready to go, but just an awesome piece of history for 1969 to commemorate the moon landing.
That's amazing. You just got to wonder, how corrupt do you have to be to get the signatures of all three people from Apollo 11 on the lunch
A lot of people
menu.
went to that lunch, Joh.
Yeah, it could have been anyone. Sorry. It's great. Speaking of which, Sir Joh was obviously a divisive figure, to put it politely. To some, he was a strong leader, while others saw him as a bit of a dictator. Obviously, questions around the gerrymander. But I am fascinated by this collection. Are there any personal items that give us an insight into just sort of what sort of bloke he was? Was he a good guy? Was he a bad guy? Are there any clues?
Very good question. I should be a little bit careful. However, in the build-up to this morning's interview, we did have another look through the diaries, the drawers, and his briefcase, just to try and find any evidence. And we did actually find evidence of him having a positive impact on Queensland. And you know, there's personal items like diary notes and how he would travel back in the day and who he'd be planning to meet. So there's a little bit of everything, but what it does do is it humanises a man that's had an enormous impact on Queensland.
Yeah. Dear Diary, I had a wonderful positive influence on the people of Queensland today.
Not so much on the beautiful architecture.
No, that's the best I can do. Ballroom. Anyway.
And I fed the chooks. Fed the chooks today. The auction also features some rare paintings by some pretty amazing artists. Who are the artists and how much do you think these might go for?
Yeah, that's right. Behind me, I'm not sure if you can see in the shot, but we have a portrait of Sir Joh, painted by William Dargie, and that was an entrant for the Archibald Prize. It was a finalist as well. They had great taste. They also, in the collection, you'll find an original Pro Hart oil painting, which was called The Swimmers. So that's a couple of examples, but you can see many artworks behind us, and those are a couple of notable ones as well.
Also behind you, we can see there's Sir Joh's 1982 Jaguar that he once drove. That's also up for auction. Take us through the features of this beautiful beast of a car. How much do you think it's worth?
How much is it worth? That'll be tough to tell. We've got a few more days to go. I will say that we've been going from strength to strength with classic cars lately. Anything with a chrome bumper, anything with built in the 70s or 80s is going up in value. And more recently, any car with a high-profile affiliation seems to sort of go through the roof. At the moment, we would anticipate that this car would sell in the tens of thousands, possibly 20,000. But it would need a restoration just from looking at it. It's a 3-speed auto, 6-cylinder.
I want it. I really want it.
Doc's already got a Jag, so he might not be able to fit that into his
That's right. Garage. He's got a keyring that says my other car is also a Jag.
Only one?
Yeah, that's right.
Now, Lady Flo, her famous pumpkin scone recipe is also up for grabs, and it's inscribed in a ceramic soup spoon. Can you give us a hint on some of the ingredients, and don't say pumpkin?
Oh, how'd you know what I was going to do? Yes, basically it is actually on display at the moment in the catalogue. It does involve flour, and there is pumpkin involved as well. And the top bidder will be able to take it home and keep the secret to themselves for hopefully many years to come.
Oh, well, if you are interested, those pumpkin scones, I've got to say, we've tried them.
Say what you like about Sir Joh and Lady Flo. The pumpkin scones were exciting.
They did destroy Cloudlands, the ballroom, but
right.
Scones were fabulous.
They raised a city to the ground, and yet the scones will live on forever.
If you are interested in owning a piece of history, the auction is open for bidding online now, lloydsauctions.com.au. Lee, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, mate. That was awesome.
Thanks for having us. It was a pleasure. Thank you.